I can't remember much about last week, but let's get into this one. The fan that fell from the stands throughout the first pitch. Fuck this franchise. I guess I should throw out a first pitch next year for stealing a Clemente jersey. What a piece of shit franchise. I can't remember much about last week, but let's get into this one. I do know that on this day in 1972, September 30th, Roberto Clemente hit his 3,000th and final hit. Rest in peace to Roberto Clemente. Well, the Pirates season is finally over. Penn State season is over as well. And the Patriots season is not even close to over. And the MLB playoffs have begun. Let's get into it. I'm excited. It's going to be a short episode because I am exhausted. This is number 174 of Hoagies and Pierogis. Recorded in central Pennsylvania in front of a live studio audience with your host, Ian DiCarlo. This is Hoagies and Pierogis. Oh, baseball. Pirate season is over, but I am excited for the playoffs. Got to go over the Pirates first. We'll go over Skeen's last start of the season last week against the Reds. Season finale, and Skeens came to shove. 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 7 strikeouts. But unfortunately, the Pirates couldn't hold on to the lead like usual. So Skeens did not get the win. At least they won the game 4-3 in 11 innings, and that was 4 wins in a row for them. So Skeens' final stat line of the year, 10 and 10. Yes, 10 wins, 10 losses, 187.2 innings pitched, 1.97 ERA, 216 strikeouts, and 42 walks. Cy Young. Now, if anyone isn't impressed by the innings amount, he pitched over 50 more innings than last year. He should easily clear 200 innings next year. Just unleash him in year 3. In the final game of the series, Noelvi Marte made a game-saving catch in the top of the 9th, a home run-saving catch basically, or at least one that would have scored the runner to tie the game, to seal the win for the Reds 2-1 in the final game of that series, and that was a very important win for the Reds. We'll get into that. And then this Braves series, the Pirates won the back-to-back games to start the series, 9-3 and 3-1, but then ended the year with a 4-1 loss. It was a very unremarkable series. So that is the Pirates season. They finished the season at 71 and 91. We got it up on the calendar here. We filled out the calendar again this year. So we have some news that everyone kind of expected. Don Kelly will be back as manager next year, but the Parrots' claw curls and Ben Cherington will be back as well next season. Fuck me. God damn it. Travis Williams, after that press conference, he was getting asked questions by the media, repeatedly said,
well, our belief and expectation is that this team is a lot closer than our performance and our records would suggest. Our goal is to win in 26 and make the playoffs. What? Period, full stop.
Then spend the money. Why can't Nutting get up to $100 million like he did in 2015? 10 years later. And the first move after that quote, they fired pitching coach Oscar Marin, the only one who was getting results with the team at all, in any capacity. I hate the Pirates front office. 83 wins. It took 83 wins to get into the playoffs this year. And you couldn't do that. Come on, that's just above 500. We have a chance every year to make the playoffs if you just spend like an extra $20 million on 2 extra bats. Please. Going into year 7 of the rebuild, I believe. Rebuild, whatever the fuck that means. There have been reports already that the payroll will not go up. Why? Okay, but the playoff picture got sealed up last week. The Blue Jays clinched the AL East for the first time in 10 years after they held the tiebreaker over the Yankees, who also finished with a 94-68 record. That is also the best record in the AL, so they will have a first-round bye as well as Seattle. So that means the Yankees will host the Red Sox, and the Guardians will host the Tigers in the AL wildcard matchups. Just more division play in the AL wildcard. So they did play both Game 1s today. On Tuesday, Detroit won 2-1 in Game 1. In the NL, like I said, that win was important for the Reds when they clinched the game over the Pirates with that game-sealing catch. The Reds made the postseason over the Mets. What? The second most expensive team in baseball did not make the playoffs. Steve Cohen did apologize to the fans, and if Nutting would do anything like this, he might have some grace with the fans, just a little tiny little bit. He is just not transparent at all, and he doesn't talk directly to the fans. It's always through some quote in a newspaper or something, and it's bullshit. Steve Cohen said, "Mets fans everywhere, I owe you an apology. You did your part by showing up and supporting the team. We didn't do our part. We will do a post-mortem and figure out the obvious and less obvious reasons why the team didn't perform up to your and my expectations. We are all feeling raw emotions today. I know how much time and effort you've put into this team. The result was unacceptable. Your emotions tell me how much you care and continues to motivate the organization to do better. Thank you to the best fans in sports." Just anything like that Nutting, it would go such a far way. So yeah, with that came the news that Pete Alonso is opting out of his contract with the Mets for next year. He really chose to come back to the Mets instead of being on the Blue Jays right now, who have a first-round bye in the postseason. So the Brewers did clinch the best record with the Phillies, one game behind them. They'll get first-round byes, and the Dodgers will be hosting the Reds, and the Cubs are hosting the Padres in the NL Wildcard Series. And in Game 1 for the Cubs and Padres, the Cubs won 3-1. Since we went over Game 1 of the Guardians and Tigers series and Cubs and Padres series, may as well go over the Yankees and Red Sox and the Dodgers and Reds. So the Red Sox scored 2 in the 7th right after we finished recording on Tuesday, and Garrett Crochet went 7.2 innings pitched with 10 strikeouts on 117 pitches. They let him go. Aroldis Chapman came in to close out the game at that point, but before he could come back out for the 9th, the Red Sox got to David Bednar to go up 3-1. Chapman did load the bases with no outs, but he shut the door to win the game 3-1. God, do I miss Chapman at the back of the bullpen. And then Game 1 for the Reds at the Dodgers. Game 1 did not go well for Hunter Green at all. He only made it 3 innings, giving up 6 hits, 2 walks, 3 home runs, and 5 earned runs. He only had 4 strikeouts, and the Dodgers won 10-5. There was a little rally from the Reds there late, but 10 runs was way too much to make up for him. All right, some end-of-season notes here. Home run milestones are up first. Last Wednesday, big dumper got to 60. Kyle Schwarber hit his 55th and 56th home run on the year, and Judge hit his 50th for his 4th season with 50 home runs. Judge joined Ohtani, Babe Ruth, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, Ken Griffey Jr., and Alex Rodriguez as the only players with back-to-back seasons of 50 or more home runs. And then on Sunday, Ohtani set a new career high with 55 home runs, just one more than last year's 54. This is the 6th season since division play started in 1969 that there wasn't a no-hitter thrown, in the first season since 2005. Trey Turner won the NL batting title with a .304 average, the lowest ever for an NL batting champ, and the second lowest ever to Carl Yastrzemski's .301 mark in 1968 for the AL batting champ. Oh, and you know we had to get our final update on the Red Sox and the Giants after the Devers trade. The Giants finished at 81-81. The Red Sox finished 89-73. The Giants were 41-31, and the Red Sox were 37-36 at the time of the trade. The Giants went 40-50, and the Red Sox went 52-37. Devers did play 163 games, though, which I do think is really cool. Last end-of-season note here, the A's are going to be debuting a jersey with Sacramento on the front of it. Then call yourself the Sacramento A's. God damn it. But yeah, I believe that's it. We'll be on to the division series next week, and basically almost all the way through the division series next week. Okay, on to college football. Week 5 already. Jesus Christ, this one's flying by. On Friday night, number 8 Florida State went into Virginia and was upset in double overtime. 46-38 was the final score there. And Florida State was trying to tie up the game, but Castellanos threw an interception in the end zone. And as the wide receiver, the Florida State wide receiver, went to go for the ball, he fell down. But right when the ball touched the Virginia player's hands, the whole crowd stormed the field. And I just hope that wide receiver wasn't trampled. I actually should look that up. I wonder if anything happened to him. Oh, he was up and walking in the madness, so he is totally fine. That's good to know. All right, on Saturday, number 23 Illinois walked off number 21 USC in what I thought was probably the game of the day for me at that point. It turned out to be the game of the day for me overall. They won 34-32 after USC left too much time for the Illini to make their way down the field, and they could not stop the rush at all. They hit a 42-yard field goal. Walked it off. Next game up, Ole Miss did take down LSU, and they got their revenge for last year. I knew that you could not take LSU seriously. Let's go. They won 24-19. Tennessee had to play another overtime game again this week, this time against Mississippi State, who had the cowbells going. It's so annoying. Yeah, Mississippi State tried their damnedest, but they did not score in overtime, and they lost 41-34 to Tennessee. I didn't even realize Georgia Tech went to overtime against Wake Forest, and Georgia Tech won 30-29. Texas A&M won against Auburn. Alabama beat Georgia, which I thought was very surprising. They won 24-21. Bama went up fast, but Georgia tried to come back, but the Alabama's defense held in the fourth quarter. There were no points scored in the fourth quarter. BYU beat Colorado, and Colorado was fined $50,000 for the crowd chanting, "Fuck the Mormons." And then the reason why I didn't watch too much other college football, I didn't watch any of the Alabama-Georgia game, was because of the Oregon-Penn State game. Like, just call some plays that have some easy completions. Jesus fucking Christ. Penn State looked clueless on offense, but at least the defense was holding for the first half. And then in the fourth quarter, Oregon went up 17-3, and that's when I just completely passed out. Just so sick of seeing the same thing over and over and over again. And then, of course, I woke up and I was like, they went into overtime? How? Penn State tied up the game, 2 touchdowns, one with 30 seconds left to tie it up. And they both scored in overtime once. And then Oregon got the touchdown in double overtime. And, they just couldn't. Penn State couldn't do it. Aller threw another interception to end it. I was just so pissed. It was just almost... It gave me flashbacks of the Notre Dame game where it was just such a bad interception. Like, what is Aller doing? What is Kodolnicki doing? What does James Franklin do on the fucking sideline? I don't even know. He's just there for recruiting as far as I'm concerned. What? It's so frustrating. I'm just not going to get into it. I just don't know what can change for them to get over this hump. Yeah, cool. All right, being a perennial top 10, top 5 team is nice. But we don't win anything. Nothing. One playoff game last year against Boise State? Oh, wow. Eat my ass, Penn State. Sandusky might. Alrighty, in the rankings for this week, a lot of shit has changed here. So, Ohio State number 1, Oregon number 2 after their win against Penn State, Miami down 1 after they had a bye week. So, again, this week they're showing that the better record, even though they're undefeated, is technically, like 5-0 is technically better than 4-0. So 5-0 is going to be ranked ahead of 4-0. So then number 4, Ole Miss after they beat LSU. Number 5, Oklahoma up 2. Ole Miss went up 9. Texas A&M up 3 to number 6. And then Penn State all the way down to number 7 after that debacle. Indiana up 3 to number 8. Texas up 1 to 9. And then Alabama up 7 after beating Georgia at number 10 there. Georgia down 7 to number 12, and then LSU down 9 to number 13. LSU and Ole Miss just switched spots. So then Ohio State's still 14, Tennessee still 15. Ohio State, Iowa State, and Tennessee are the only 3 teams that didn't move this week. That's insane. Vanderbilt up 2 to number 16. Georgia down 1. Florida State down 10 to number 18 after losing to Virginia. And then other than that, not really too much big movement. Virginia's now ranked after that, and then Arizona's now ranked after beating TCU last Friday night. All right, let's go over week 6 of college football. Penn State plays UCLA, so hopefully they get an easy win there. UCLA is 0-4. And Nico Amaliava. Oh, they're going up against Nico. Kentucky plays Georgia. Texas goes to Florida. Vanderbilt goes to Alabama. I know a lot of people are looking forward to that one. Vanderbilt just won 55-33, but it was against Utah State. So I don't know. Is Vanderbilt for real? They beat South Carolina. We'll see. We will see. Notre Dame playing Boise State. Oh, I like that. And Miami at Florida State. Oh, man, if Florida State didn't get upset last week, I would have been really looking forward to this one. But I think Miami might get the best of FSU there. I think I'm going to be leaning heavy on Miami. But what do I know? I went all in on Penn State this weekend, so fuck me. All right, week 4 of the NFL, nearly a quarter of the way through it already. Jesus, this, again, football going too fast, going way too fast. We had the Seahawks at the Cardinals first up for the Thursday night game. But first, we learned that Sean Alexander was having his 14th child with his wife. What? 14? 14? So I was wrong last week. The Cardinals were actually the first ones to wear their rivalries jerseys on Thursday night, and the Dolphins wore theirs on Monday night. Unfortunately, they don't really translate to the broadcast that well. I think they would just look better as white jerseys. The speckles don't really... It just makes them look dirty. I don't know. The end zone looked amazing, though. And I know, when do you ever say that? All right, but Marvin Harrison Jr., does he suck? I don't know. He might not. But he was the direct cause of Kyler's 2 first-half interceptions, like, completely. He stopped on his route and wasn't on the same page as Kyler. You know, who knows whose fault that was, really. But then the second one went right through his hands, straight to the defender. He did end up getting a touchdown in the second half, and he was pretty emotional about it, and that made it 20-13. And then DeMarcado tied it up at 20, and that was when Chad Ryland came into the game, the tank commander for the Patriots 2 years ago. He might be the tank commander for the Cardinals this year. Chad Ryland definitely lost them the game by not putting the ball in the landing zone. So then the Seahawks got the ball back with, I believe, 33 seconds left. Sorry, 28 seconds. The Seahawks easily got into field goal range from the 40 with 28 seconds, and they walked it off. 23-20 Seahawks. All right, Vikings Steelers in Dublin. The biggest story that came out of Dublin wasn't even about the game. Skylar Thompson was robbed and roughed up, I guess. I don't know if he was, like, shanked or what, but he had minor injuries from it. That will never stop the international push for the NFL. But early on, the Steelers' defense was working Carson Wentz. The Vikings almost made the comeback, but Wentz is Wentz, and he almost threw another interception to end the game. Steelers won 24-21. All right, first game up, that 1 o'clock slate. Patriots. Let's go. Defense and special teams are putting in work already to begin the day. It was 7-6 off a Marcus Jones punt return for the first score. And actually, for the first quarter, it wasn't looking bad, but the Panthers had the ball for 10 minutes compared to 5 minutes for the Patriots. But then Drake May, with the nod to Cam Newton, breaking out the Superman celly, puts the Pats up 14-6. And then defense. And then after Henderson was tripped on second in a long goal, he was the one who hammered it in 2 plays later to make it 21-6 for his first NFL touchdown. Let's go. And then Marcus Jones almost ripped off another punt return. Damn. The punter got him that time. But then Gibson punched in the next touchdown to go up 28-6 at halftime. Then the drubbing just continued. Hunter Henry all the way to the end zone, 35-6. Then you get a TD, you get a TD. Mac Hollins found the end zone. He got that one to make it 42-6 at that point. The Panthers put in Andy Dalton halfway through the fourth quarter. Bryce Young was 18 of 30 with 151 yards and a touchdown. But only 2 of those balls went to Tetaroa McMillan when he was covered by Christian Gonzalez. Let's go. He shut him down when Gonzalez was the primary defender on him. 2 catches for, I think, 33 yards, maybe. It might have been less than that. Will Campbell looked great. Harold Landry having another great game. Milton Williams having another great game. Defense coming together. Offense firing on all cylinders. We're going to need it for the Bills game next week. And I have a sneaking suspicion the Patriots could win that game. All right, Eagles-Bucks. The Eagles were up 14-0 very fast, and the Bucks looked tired from making all these late-game comebacks. If anything, Chase McLaughlin, the Bucks kicker, now holds the record for longest outdoor field goal at 65 yards. It was a clean shot that just made it. It was 24-6 at halftime. And usually on those ones, you're like, oh, he could have had more juice to make it. He could have made it from further. No, 65 was like he might have been able to make it from 66. But 65 made it right over that goalpost. But then the Bucks were eating up, and so was Egbuka. And Mika Egbuka is a monster. He had a 77-yard touchdown that made it 24-13. The Eagles got another touchdown, but so did the Bucks on their next drive, and it was another bomb from Baker Mayfield, this time to Bucky Irving, to make it 31-20. And then McLaughlin with another long field goal, 58-yarder, to make it 31-23. After the field goal, the Bucks forced the Eagles to punt, and they had a great punt return that got them all the way past the 50. But then Baker, no, Baker, why did he throw that? It was horrible. Even if it wasn't tipped, it would have been intercepted. Come on. After that, there was still half the quarter left, but they couldn't make the comeback. But eventually, at some point, they got a safety to make it 31-25. It was 31-23. I didn't see that at all. But the Eagles won 31-25. All right, Chargers, Giants. On Sunday, the world learned about Jackson Dart's mom. But soon after Jackson Dart ran it in, it was a 15-yard touchdown scramble. Neighbors planted wrong and has a torn ACL. Rip Neighbors. That sucks. He went for his right knee immediately before he even hit the ground. Justin Herbert hit Quentin Johnston, who looks every part of an elite wide receiver, elite downfield threat. And, another touchdown for him. He's having a great season already. The Chargers were making a comeback at halftime. 13-10 Giants still, though. Dart got the Giants on the board with his first passing touchdown, this time to Theo Johnson to make it 21-10. But then Omari and Hampton answered right back with a great 55-yard touchdown run, and they added on their own two-point conversion, but it was still 21-18 Giants. On the next drive, the Giants couldn't really do anything. Dart did get a second effort first down on the fourth down play that they ran, but they couldn't convert on fourth down again, and the game was still 21-18 with 5:35 left. But then Brian Burns with the sack. The Chargers looked so confused by this Giants defensive line the whole game. Herbert was just absolutely lost. Brian Burns' sack made it 4th and 25 with 3:40 left to go, and the Giants were really going to do it. No one believed in them. All of the Hail Marys were no good, and they pulled through, still 21-18, and they handed the Chargers their first loss, and in the process getting their first win. Wow. So on Monday, it was confirmed that Neighbors tore his ACL, but John Mara also came out and said that he had cancer. And that's just what comes with being president of the New York Giants football. All right, Falcons Commanders really had no hope for the Falcons in this one, but the Falcons were showing some life finally. They didn't even have life in the game that they won against the Vikings. This is much better from the offense, but the Commanders would not go away. Mariota hit Debo to make it 31-24 Falcons, but then they exchanged field goals to end the game, 34-27. Okay, man, the Titans really just suck, huh? The Texans started pouring it on in the second half after only being up 6-0 at halftime, and they won the game 26-0. Cam Ward with the quote of the day.
I mean, if we keeping a buck right now, we ass. So we 0-4. We have this one. We got nothing to lose. We dropped a quarter of our fucking games.
Also, speaking of someone that's been asked the past 2 weeks, what is up with the Bills? They really don't look great, and they're lucky that they're playing the Saints. The Saints should have gone up 17-14 at the half, but they tried to get way too tricky on an end-around pass that Olave tried to throw back to Rattler in the end zone, but it was intercepted. It was 14-10 Bills at halftime. But then it wasn't over. What got into the Saints today? After the Bills scored to make it 21-10, the Saints came right back and scored a touchdown of their own. And the Bills turned the ball over on their next drive. So the Saints got the ball back, and it was 21-16 Bills. And they had a chance to go up on the Bills. On that drive, we thought Brandon Cooks was so close to hauling in a touchdown pass, and that would have been a really nice pass from Rattler. But he couldn't quite gather the ball in. No touchdown. They settled for the field goal, and it was 21-19 Bills. But there we go. It took long enough. It looked like Josh Allen just said, fuck it, give me the ball. I'm just going to rumble all the way to the end zone. And on the next drive, the Bills went up 28-19. They ended up winning the game 31-19. All right, Lions-Browns, not much happened in this game. The Lions have looked unstoppable since week 1. The Lions pulled away in the second half and won easily, unlike the Panthers last week. Final score 34-10 Lions. Big news today on Wednesday, Dylan Gabriel will be starting over Flacco after that horrible game against the Lions. We'll see if Gabriel can provide the spark that Dart did to the Giants. All right, I was actually excited to watch a Rams game for once, but that was mainly because of the Colts, and I think the game delivered. But Adonai Mitchell just chose to showboat instead of holding onto the ball and fumbled it out of the back of the end zone before he crossed the goal line. It was still 13-10 Rams at that point, and it would have been 17-13 Colts. Puka Nacua went off in this game. He had 13 receptions for 170 yards and a touchdown. And of course, I was going up against him in fantasy. He scored 36 points even. I got blown out this week, 161-122. Okay, Bears-Raiders. Caleb Williams. Throw the ball a little bit higher. You can't just throw it right at the top of, right over their helmets at the defensive line. He had 3 passes batted down at the line on their second possession. And then on their next drive, he had another one batted down, but this one went up in the air and was intercepted by Crosby. Genti fumbled earlier in the game, but made up for it with a great touchdown run. But the Bears came back and won 25-24 on a blocked field goal. Bears still managed to eke it out a little. I don't know how they did it. 49ers, Jags, Brian Thomas Jr. is washed. Trevor Lawrence is washed. Maybe Brock Purdy's washed. But is the Jaguars defense good? Number 0 was flying all over the place. Jaguars continue to win, but continue to do so without very much contribution from BTJ. They won 26-21. All right, Ravens, Chiefs. The Ravens struck first on a Justice Hill screen. They were up 7-0. But then the Chiefs got a field goal and intercepted Lamar, and it was just shit for the Ravens from there. And he just sucks against the Chiefs. He just gets into his head way too much, I think, because he had another fumble before halftime, and it was 20-7 Chiefs at that point. I kind of stopped watching the game at halftime, and I was just watching occasionally. And in the third quarter, down 30-13, I saw Lamar on the bench, and I thought that he got benched. I was like, how are you going to try to make a comeback with Cooper Rush as your quarterback? But no, he just had a hamstring injury that he left with. And it might not be good, actually. He might be out a couple weeks. Okay, Sunday night game, I didn't watch. I had to get up early on Monday. But a tie? A 40-40 tie? And a tie that the Packers played for rather than going for it on 4th down and winning the game? Or not even, I don't even know if it was 4th down. Are you kidding me? Go for the win. Don't go for the tie. What the hell was that? The Packers went up. They got 2 touchdowns pretty fast, but then the Cowboys actually blocked the second extra point attempt, ran it all the way back, and it was 13-2. And it somehow got to 40-40 from that point. That's such a weird score. Okay, Monday night games. And the Dolphins rivalries uniforms, they don't look hateful, but they are not different in any way than like a normal alternate would be, you know? But Darren Waller is back. Yes, he is. And the Dolphins went 96 yards off the Braylon Allen fumble for the Darren Waller touchdown. And the Jets just couldn't hold on to the ball. I thought the name of the game was fumbles last week. The name of the game was fumbles this week for the Jets. 2 fumbles on their first 2 drives. But then instead of everyone celebrating Darren Waller's return, everyone is talking about this. Tyreek Hill just dislocated his knee, and his foot turned like 90 degrees inward towards his other foot. But he seemed happy about it after he was put on the cart, clapping and then yelling, yes!
Against the Titans, had to leave that game, and this is a tough one.
Dude is demented. And there was also a video that someone took of him in the ambulance. Someone was behind them in his ambulance, taking a video of him still smiling in there. What is wrong with him?
Take a video. I'm filming.
Take a video right now.
I'm filming. Oh, there's Tyreek's smile.
He's taking a video.
Oh my God, that's him. Tyreek's taking a video.
All right, I'm going to Miami Beach.
He's like, these bitches are filming me.
I gotta go to Miami Beach. Get the fuck out of the way, fuckos.
Bye, Tyreek.
His time in Miami is likely over, and he's happy about it because I'm sure that he'll probably get some type of injury insurance from the season and not have to play another snap for him. But yeah, back to the game. Darren Waller, 2 TDs, 17-3 Dolphins, and then Justin Fields is still fast. It was 17-10. HN answered right back to make it 24-10. That's when I went to sleep. The Jets almost came back, and the Dolphins won 27-21. And yeah, I don't even have really anything here for the Bengals-Broncos other than obviously the Bengals team is struggling so badly without Burrow. The Bengals got on the board first with a field goal, but then that was their only score of the game. Knicks ran one in, and Mims did what Mims is starting to become known for, catching ridiculous deep touchdowns. It was 21-3 Broncos at halftime. Broncos ended up laying off the gas. They only won 28-3. Okay, what do we got up next week? Like I said, we got the Patriots and Bills, and that's the Sunday night game. And then we got Raiders Colts, Giants Saints. Let's see if the Dart Mania can keep rolling. Broncos Eagles. I'm interested in watching that game, even though the Broncos are only 2-2. Eagles are 4-0. Broncos defense, I think, is heating up a little bit. Lions Bengals should have been a good game if Burrow wasn't hurt. And then Monday night is going to be the Chiefs at the Jags. Another good game that I'm looking forward to. Let's see what's going on Twitter. What the fuck? Okay, I just had to unfollow Antonio Brown because he was pushing a bunch of meme coins and just flooding my timeline. And I might not be watching too much football outside of the Patriots game on Sunday night because Ghost of Yote comes out on Thursday. I thought it came out on Friday, and I have Friday off. So I will be up all night on Thursday night playing it. I am so excited. Alrighty, everybody. I think that's it. Make sure to leave a like and comment on each video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hoagies and Pierogis is available wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple, wherever. Make sure to follow us on Instagram. I do not post on TikTok anymore. Should probably stop saying that. Just in the groove of saying it. And we'll leave you with this. Thank you very much. Recorded in Central Pennsylvania in front of a live studio audience with your host Ian DiCarlo. This is Hoagies and Pierogis.